from the Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. What is this place? Well, it's a place that you come and you spend a week and you do ayahuasca 4 nights, a couple of breath works, a bunch of yoga, breath work, meditation, farm-to-table organic food, one-on-one counseling, group counseling, workshops, all put in the cleanse, and of course regular spa services, but all put into one amazing week. How do I know it's amazing? 23,000 people have been here. 23,000 people have been here, and 98.06%. That is calculated every week based on the new data that comes every week. But basically, 986 out of every 1,000 people say they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. And the best thing is, it sticks. How do I know it sticks? 6 months after they're gone, they get another survey. And in that survey, 90.22% say the same thing. Number one, that miracle that they experienced is still active and working in their life. But 90.21% say that this was the week that changed their life. Because of that, people come from all over the world to come here. And I mean, this is a little spot, Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We're in a tiny country and we're a tiny place as compared to the globe. People come from all over: Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Every week, people come from all over the world to trek through multiple flights to get here to this place to have this thing happen. What kind of people come here? Well, normal people like you and me, and then elites from all walks of life. What do I mean that? A-listers in baseball, football, basketball, boxing, entertainers, musicians, business people come here from all over the world. Billionaires come here, and then normal people like you and me come here, have this thing happen, and it changes their life. Because of this, a segment of people who've come here and had it affect their life wanted to join our board of directors to spread the message of Rythmia. Who are some of those people? Martin Luther King's son, Martin. Kelly Slater, the world's greatest surfer. Cesar Millan, one of the dog whisperer, one of the 100 most recognizable faces in the world. Ron White, the comedian. Ron was just down 7 days ago, a week ago. I had dinner with him, but I invite you to look at the Joe Rogan podcast about me with Ron White. He goes on for hours about how this place works and what happens. And because of this amazing experience, and there's tons more in the board of directors, like Michael Beckwith, the founder of the Agape Spiritual Center in California, Elanya Van Zant from the Oprah Winfrey Network, Jack Canfield, the author of the Chicken Soup of the Soul series, one of the greatest selling books of all time, Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, a sitting president's brother, while his brother was president, came and joined our board of directors. You think we've been vetted? I believe so. Mark Kielberger, the Canadian business person, social entrepreneur, New York Times bestselling author. Earl Koski, the American businessman. Kim Terranova, the thought leader. And Dr. Jeff McNary, the former director of the Passages Addiction Center in Malibu. All these people are on our board of directors, and they all help. What happens at Rythmia is something called a soul merger. So what does it feel like? It honestly feels like you've been caught between 2 radio stations, FM stations, for your whole life, and all of a sudden you get tuned in, where you're hearing and seeing life in stereo. and beauty in the reality that this reality comes upon you, that you've been given a life to live on this garden of a planet, and you better do something with it. That's the reality, right? So why do so many ultra high net worth people come here? It's a good question. It's because they found that money didn't do it. And I get a charge out of real rich people because, if $1 million doesn't do it, and 100 million doesn't do it, and 200 million doesn't do it, what makes you think 3 billion is going to do it? It's a very funny thing. But they come here, they have this experience, and they're enjoying life for the first time, really enjoying life. So what does it look like? It's kind of this. What facilitates this unfracturing or putting back together of a soul merger? It's the culmination of everything that we do. And it is a hard week's work. It is not easy. People, 10% of the people or 20% of the people cry on Wednesday. Big guys, strong women crying. This is so hard. It's hard. It is hard. But what you get in exchange, you get the rest of your life back. You really do. How can I say it with such certainty? Is we keep data. That data is publishable, right? That 98.06% of the people who walk through the door claim that they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. The rest of their life is different, right? Is different. So real quickly, my life was, I was a businessman. I was a very troubled person. I was an alcoholic, a drug addict. But more than all that, I hated people. I hated my life. I hated people. The last company I sold for about $90 million. I had no debt. And I hated my life. I hated everything about it. And I did medicine. And all of a sudden, my life changed in a week. Now it's 12 years later. I haven't had a cigarette, a drink, an alcoholic beverage. I eat really well. I work out every single day of my life. I'm 62 years old and I'm stronger than I've ever been and more alive than I've ever been in my whole life. All of my relationships that were horrible are fantastic. I don't have a bad relationship with one family member or one friend, even ex-wives. I'm in a sweet spot of life because of this program, because of how this thing works, right? So most people, once this happens to them and they're here and they're crying tears of joy and they say, God, what do you want me to do for it? Because most of these people have prayed their whole life without ever hearing a response from God. And they come here and the conversation is flipped on both ways. They're talking to God, God's answering, and they realize that God's been talking to them their whole life. They just didn't have the right ears to hear it. And so what do they want to do? They want to, this is the overwhelming vast majority, and I don't keep statistical data on it, but I'm going to say 9 out of 10 people who come here decide that they want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. They want to leave the place a better place than when they found it, Earth, right? So what does that look like? Well, number one, that journey, the journey of becoming a beneficial presence on the planet is the only continuously satisfying way of living that I have ever found. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So I always thought like, oh, having sex with the most amount of people or drinking the most amount of alcohol or having a bunch of money in the bank, all these things could bring happiness. And none of them did. None of them. Climaxes last a second, right? A good time might be an hour out of a night that you pay for using alcohol and drugs. You pay for it the next 7 days of your life. There was no satisfaction. And all of a sudden, in the decision to become a beneficial presence on the planet, I became satiated. I'm in the most interesting journey that I could have ever imagined for my life. I built this place called Rythmia, and we're doing it for other people. And it's the most satisfying way to spend your life that I found. More satisfying than drugs, alcohol, sex. Like it is, and it's not a peak experience. It's a continuous experience. It's not bliss. It's satisfaction. It's a different thing. So when people decide they want to do it, their whole life changes. How big they want to make it will determine how difficult it's going to be and how long it's going to take. But usually it uses time in the terms of decades. And usually in difficulty, if the scale was 1 to 10, it'd be a 12. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's going to take longer than you ever imagined. It's going to give you more back than you could dream of in your wildest dream. And that is the absolute positive truth. And it's going to be a satiating experience. That is the truth. That's what this is about. That's what Rythmia is about. Now, I myself have had like 352 journeys in my life, ayahuasca journeys. I don't do them anymore. I do 4 a year, which I think is the right amount for people to do them all in 1 week a year, once a year. And when you come out the other side of it, you decide you really want to become a beneficial presence, and you pick your thing, and then you make agreements with spirit. And those agreements are that you're going to agree to do something for your body each and every day. You're going to treat your body in a particular way. You're going to feed it in a particular way. You're going to have a daily practice, which might be breath work, yoga, meditation, or spiritual mind treatments, or prayer, prayer. And these are all agreements you make. You're going to make an agreement to tithe. People hear that word and they shriek, but it's not conventional tithing. And I explain that in this book called Truthonomics, and it's a really key part of the program. But I'll explain it in the weeks coming. I'm going to explain how to tithe on here and why it's so important. But today, I want to tell you the benefit of the ayahuasca experiences that I've had, and something that she taught me. So, up until this medicine, I was looking for the easy way in life, right? Why did I want all that money, right? Why did I want to have $100 million was always a number that I felt comfortable having. Because I wanted to find an easy road, an easy way in an easy experience of life. And the medicine showed me that the exact opposite is true. So pleasing methods lead to terribly unpleasing results. And unpleasant methods have the most pleasing results. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this is a harsh part of the earth experience, having an earth body. So muscles don't grow without stress. Intelligence doesn't grow without study. Understanding doesn't grow without introspection. These are all things that are painful. And the more painful the methods, generally speaking, the higher the growth. So if you take a look at wealthy people, right, they tend to have a lot of the same habits. They're thrifty, right? They put off pleasure to the back end. They feed themselves last, not first. Everybody else gets their piece first. They get their piece last. They can delay gratification for a long time, and they can put up with more than most of us. My friend built at one time the largest pizza franchise in the world, and he's one of the most detailed, most diligent, most hardworking people that I've ever met, and somebody really to idolize, because I watched what he does. And basically, with the exception of Bitcoin billionaires, right? The previous 100 years, those people who got $1 billion net worth, they worked harder, they worked and delayed gratification longer than anybody else would. So their methods are really hard, and the results are really good. Now the same thing happens in our life. If our methods with our family are hard on us, they produce great, great, great results. If our methods with our children are hard, they produce great results in children. Everything works the same way. Muscles, you can't create a muscle without tearing it. There is no gain without pain. And most of us spend the most amount of our energetic budget in searching for an easy way to do the hard. That's what we try to do. Like Van Halen had a song, well, like working so hard to make it easy. You're trying to figure out easy ways. And the revelation from the medicine, from God, is that earth life is not that. If one out of a million people get that life, it's a waste of life. That they get born, they get handed everything. Just take a look at what happens to those people. The growth, the happiness is in those tough methods. So what are hard methods? Hard methods are a daily practice, physical exercise, eating and drinking the right way, not giving up. These are all things that are laid out and explained during the week at Rythmia. So you walk away from here willing to be a beneficial presence on the planet. How can you do it? Well, you can do it by being the best mother, the best father, the best investment banker, the best mortgage banker, the best pizza maker, the best dancer, guitarist, violinist. There's a million ways to become a beneficial presence, and none of them are easy. All of the easy ones are gone. None of them are easy. And yet it's the only game in town that gives you this satisfaction. So what I'm asking you to do today is that if you've had it, if you've tried everything, you've had great success financially, and it has left you flat. If you're famous and you can't get out of your own way, if you're not famous and you haven't found your way yet, and you believe that there's something blocking you, come here, experience this thing, and I guarantee you with 98.06% assurity that the rest of your life will be changed. I don't know what else you can do in the next month where you can pick something out and say, I'm going to give it a week with a 98% chance that it's going to change the rest of my life for the better. I know of one thing, and it's here, and we have it. Until next week, God bless you, God keep you, God hold you. We'll see you at Rythmia.